another tarot reading by me, Daniel Flowerdew, LNT. It's been a long time since I've done one of these videos, and I thank you very much for your patience with it. I've got a lot of people asking me to make more videos, especially the tarot and the guided journeys. I have 2 amazing guided journeys that I am working on right now, and hopefully I'll get them done soon. It takes a lot to get them done. You know, with any of these videos or anything that I do, I have to be in the right state of mind, I have to be well rested, and I have to be really cleared off. And with the work that I do get under a lot of psychic attack. There's a lot of weird shit that goes on, mostly because I'm helping people break out of it themselves. So today's reading is unique as always, and as with all of my readings, whenever you find it and whenever you decide to listen to it, it will be appropriate for you and have messages for you. Now today I'm going to be using 2 different decks. It's not something I do very often. Oh, but before we get into that, in the last video I did an unboxing from Ali Flowers Nature Collections, my sister. And these are some of the things that she has made that I just kind of kept out. There's fun little bats here that you can't really see, you know, but there's this cute little ghosty over here that smells amazing, and this really fun candle over here, and it has a wooden wick, which is amazing. You know, it crackles like a fireplace, and amidst the amazing smells of the candle, you also get the woodsy burning smell. Just a very small hint of it, almost like being at a campfire. It's very pleasant. And then here is a little story that I read at the end of the last video. So I've got 2 decks here. One of them is the deck that I showcased a couple of weeks ago from my first unboxing video I ever did. I don't do them very often. And this is the Thistledown deck. Again, nose is itchy. So, yeah, so this is an Oracle card deck over here. This other deck that I chose is one that I don't use very often, but since the last video I did was something that my sister, you know, gave to me, you know, something that I received from her. Yeah, because she didn't just give me that stuff. I did buy it to support her business. She did gift me some things that were in there, but I did also support her business. But this is something else that I received from her, and this deck is the Tarot of Dreams. It's a beautiful deck, and I absolutely love it. Now, since I'm still practicing with the technology side of this, I do want to make it known that my eventual goal is to have a camera above me as well, facing down, so that way as I'm doing the layout and as I'm doing the reading, I can flip cameras and you guys can watch with me as I place the cards and read them. For today, how I'm going to do this is I'm going to read the cards like this, and I might take individual pictures of the cards to place throughout the video, or I might just put them all at the end showing what the layout looks like. I have not quite decided yet, but I guess when you watch this video, you will know. I like to do things a little spontaneous like that. It keeps me on my toes and keeps things random and fun. So anyway, let's get in on this reading. So this is going to be for me to share what most needs to be known. But I can tell energy is already moving because words are failing me. For me to share what you need me to know, so that you can know what you need to know. And I'm going to ask that my original, authentic, uncompromisable, and true soul summa cover for me in this reading and assist with bringing forth the most accurate and best intel for this time. For whoever reads this, or for whoever watches this video, wherever you're at, whenever you watch it, Doesn't matter if it's a year from now or weeks or months or the day of. Okay, first thing that I see, now every layout I do is slightly different. I never like to do the same thing twice if I can avoid it. Sorry, energy's moving. Let me just focus on this for a moment here. Okay, so I've already picked more cards than I anticipated today. Now, the way that I am seeing this laid out is this does remind me of an astrological symbol. Honestly, I don't remember if it's astrological or if it's alchemical. I'll find a picture of it to try to post on here as well. But you have this triangle on top and this line, the cross in it, and a circle at the bottom is how I'm seeing it. And I am getting the feeling of Sagittarius. It seems to have this like arrow, this arrow pole thing where what I'm hearing is like spearheading the future. It's spearheading the directions of movement right now. Okay, and I don't have my own Morissette rocks on hand with me, but I've got my pendant, so give me a second here. It's almost like a compass. For the person who's reading this or listening to this, I'm the one reading it. But maybe it's for me too. Who knows? I'm open to whatever. But whoever listens to this, you're most likely in this period right now where there's so much going on, the distractions are through the roof, the weird shit is through the roof, and it's probably really hard to focus in to know exactly what you want to do next. This is something that we all go through very commonly. I do feel like this does have to do with the journey of self, though. So this isn't so much a question of the next job to take or the next relationship or anything like that. This is more to do with that inner relationship and understanding yourself. So let's start with the very top card here. And here we have Ace of Cups. Now, Ace of Cups to me is normally very auspicious, and I feel like it is in this reading as well. So what this is showing me is really a lot of this direction, a lot of this pulling is towards your emotional understanding. One thing I'm hearing is to pull up a chart from Google or wherever with a list of different emotions. There's one in particular that I've seen that's very well put together. If I can find it, I will also put a link to that down below, or I'll find a way to put it on this video. But it's a worthwhile tool to have, because a lot of times the reason why we have a hard time expressing our emotions or understanding them is because we don't know how to define them. And that's a big part of this Ace of Cups. It's this new beginning. It's like the inner dams are ready to break open. You're ready to cry. You're ready to release. And this is really freeing. One thing about tears is not everyone can cry, okay? Some people cry a lot. The thing is that when you cry, it is a form of purifying your body. It's a form of detoxing. And it really is a beautiful gift to give yourself. So this Ace of Cups is reminding you to reward yourself with understanding your emotions. And not just accepting them, but understanding them. Especially for the heavy traumas and stuff, it can really, really help to sit with it and to let it run through you, so that way you're not bottling it up, you're not holding it back, but of course you have to be in the right space for it. And there's tons of techniques and stuff online that you can learn to help with coping through this. When it gets to be overwhelming for the nervous system, it's not good. That's when it's really hard to process the emotions. So for myself personally, when I get in that state where I'm very anxious or very angsty or stressed or angry or uncertain, I do my best to do my figure eight racetracks, from heart, head, heart, loins, heart, head, heart, loins, and get it spinning and moving. And that's going to balance the left and right hemisphere of the brain. It's going to help open up the gut, and it's going to help you use your breath to clear that energy out of your nervous system so you're no longer being overloaded with it. From that space, when you're at a neutral position, you can then look at the emotions and honor them for what they are. Of course, with anything, I always suggest people to get into therapy. And with this Ace of Cups being the first card here, it would not be a bad idea to seek help right now. So now let's go on to the next two here. Oh, okay, so now I'm hearing not just Sagittarius, but Chiron as well. This seems to have a centaur vibe to it apparently today, because if I remember right, they're both centaurs. So let me see what these two arrow point positions represent. Perfect, my guides. You're making it easy for me today. Left is feminine, right is masculine. So, they're all a part of the full system. And the masculine and feminine are just words that we use to help to describe these patterns that we all possess, okay? So let's start with the left here. Let's start with the feminine side. And I do like to say that for myself, I don't see feminine and masculine. I don't see it as left and right. I see it as the full integrated being. Because we're all masculine and feminine. However, yes, I know I am considered androgynous by a lot of people. Whatever. But for me, that's what works best, is no masculine or feminine. I just use those words to help describe this a little bit easier. So, feminine side here, we have Three of Wands. There's this very strong daydreaming vibe to this here. Now, when I'm looking at this Wands, and I'll show a picture of it at the end at least. You will see a picture of these cards. This Three of Wands is daydreaming. He's sitting on the dock of the ocean. I was going to say dock of the bay, watching the tides roll away, but whatever. But, he's sitting here, sky-clad. For those of you who are not pagan, sky-clad basically just means naked. He's in his birthday suit. And he's sitting here on this dock looking out against this vast ocean and imagining a ship in his head. This is a person who is ready to dive deep. They're ready to undertake the voyage. And normally when I see Three of Wands, I get this feeling of some kind of conflict or imbalance. But for here, it's like this person is acknowledging the imbalance. They're acknowledging the ocean and the tides. They're acknowledging the depths. And instead of them just jumping off the rocky cliff, trying to swim out into the middle of the ocean, they understand the ocean's big. And they understand that they need a ship in order to get where they need to go. And I do feel like the ship is friendship, really. It's camaraderie. It's having a support system. And a lot of people don't have that. Of course, you can pay for therapy sessions with me or any therapist you're choosing, of course. And I'm not a psychotherapist. I am... Okay, my guys like to joke. They're saying, no, I'm a psychotherapist, like psychotherapist. My guides are fun. I do love them. But this is a time where you are going to need some help. You're going to need some support as you go through this, and preferably with people who have helped others as well as themselves through, preferably similar situations. Or someone that just really understands how this works, okay? Someone that you feel comfortable with. That is going to be important. Now, I do feel like this unraveling, this friendship, it's not just about the emotions. This is also about helping to keep you accountable and helping to keep you on track as you really develop and heal yourself. So on the feminine side, it really is reach out for help, okay? And not just from anyone that's willing to give it to you, but from the people that feel right to you, the people that you feel comfortable with, and that you feel like you can be yourself with. That's important. Okay, so now for the masculine side here. I'm not doing reverses today. I normally don't. I just don't feel like they're appropriate. So here we have 7 of Swords. Okay, this is normally a very unpleasant card. Let me feel into this here on the masculine side of healing. The first word that pops into my head is ignoring. The first word is, ignoring the swords that you carry, ignoring the heaviness and the weight of it. Now, in this picture, in this card, we do have this person who is sleeping in a very uncomfortable position. And really, oh no, they're not sleeping. No, they're stealing something. They're stealing these swords. These swords that are on their back and in their arms really don't belong to them. So perhaps what you are ignoring here really doesn't belong to you anyway, but unless you look at it and acknowledge it, you're not going to realize it. And you're not going to be able to let them, you're not going to be able to give yourself the resolve and the resolution you need so that you can set them down for good. Now, 7 of Swords is normally a card of someone who is working against you. Now, I just keep getting the feeling that this card is very personal, though. This isn't necessarily involving other people, but, for some of you it is. And when you hear this, you're going to be like, oh, I know exactly who is stealing from me. I know exactly who is adding on excess weight onto me. Now, first off, I do like to tell people that you have to acknowledge and take responsibility for yourself as well. They cannot just force you to carry this weight. You have to be willing to some degree. So, acknowledge that it's not your weight, but also acknowledge that you allowed yourself to carry it. And normally because they coerced you or manipulated you into doing it. So there is a give and take here, but big thing is the 7 of Swords is saying that there is theft going on. So I do also get the feeling, though, that this is a card saying that you will need some rest. You will need to take care of your body through all of this. Okay, so now let's get down to the next position here, which I'm seeing as like a plus sign. Yes, now plus signs are normally a sign of balance, okay? And they're also a sign recognizing the full turn of the wheel of the year. So you have the full year, you have like summer, winter, fall, and spring, right? And the plus sign connects all of them. So you have this ever-turning wheel that is always moving, always going, it's never ending. And that felt important to say here. Now let me see. Yes, I am supposed to read them both at the same time. So for the up and down position, we have Queen of Swords. And then for the left to right, we have Ace of Swords. So that's a second ace here. Now, with this deck, as well as many others, swords represents air. It represents the mind. It represents focus and clarity. And when I see the Ace of Swords, it is really telling you to get a new perspective on things. It's like finding the perspectives that are based in truth, that also offer you encouragement, that help to strengthen you and fortify you, and that help you to take back your power. And then we have the Queen of Swords right behind it. Now, this Queen of Swords is very, very strong. She's a very independent woman, and she's just carrying this massive sword in her hands. And, you know, the way she's carrying it here isn't really how you want to carry a sword, but I understand what they're trying to say in the picture here. They are saying that she has mastery of the sword. She has mastery of her mind. And a part of this mastery comes through lots of practice, lots of mistakes, you know, and learning from each one, because you don't really want to make too many mistakes with the sword. They can be quite fatal. And it's the same with the mind, you know, but man, you know, it's just such a beautiful card, and I just get this feeling of courage, you know, being able to stand up for yourself. And I do feel like this Ace of Swords and Queen of Swords really has to do with setting healthy boundaries. Now, when you set a boundary, you're not setting it to control other people's actions or interactions, whatever. You're doing it to control yours. So, an example of a healthy boundary or a healthier boundary is, let's say you go to a party and there's a lot of drinking and you don't want to be around alcohol. You can do a couple of things here, right? Of course, there's probably more options, but you can do a couple of things. Either you can stay or you can go. But you cannot force everyone at the party to stop drinking. That's just not cool. That's against their free will. So you have the choice to either be strong and resilient and to say, okay, I want to hang out with my friends. It is worth it to me, so I'm going to stick around. I'm going to do this as long as I feel comfortable. Or you can be like, oh, you know, I would rather just not be around this, you know. So you can tell them, oh, you know, I hope you guys have a lot of fun. Thank you for inviting me. I've got to head home right now. I'm just, you know, just ready to go home. And I hope you guys all have fun. I love you all very much. You know, another example of a healthy boundary would be, let's say you're dealing with someone who's very narcissistic, right? They're going to be gaslighting you. And, you know, what if it's someone that's always insulting you? You can tell them, as long as you continue to insult me like this, I feel like it is in my best interest to leave. Now, if they're in your space, if they're in your home, you can still excuse yourself to the bathroom if you want. Or, you know, if it is your home, you can even tell them, hey, you know what? This is my space, and I'm not going to allow that in here. So if you wish to talk like that, I will not stop you, but I will ask you to do it somewhere else and not here. This is my home. Now, if it's someone who's narcissistic, they're not going to like that, so definitely play your cards right. Okay? Listen to your gut, okay? And there's a lot of good information online for how to deal with narcissists. So don't just go with what I say on that. But this is really learning how to set healthy boundaries, and it takes a while. Okay? You're not going to learn them right away. And you're bound to make mistakes. But learn from them and be honest with yourself as you go through it. Okay, so now we have the very, very bottom of this layout here, and this is the circle at the end. This is where they would grab their hands to grab hold of the notch of the arrow to send it flying, okay? So this is about strength, it's about force. And I'm hearing it's about fortitude, okay? And you have another sword here, and it is the King of Swords. Now, this is very, very fitting. Now, the King of Swords himself, he is very true to his word. If he says he's going to build the fence, he's going to build the fence. You know, he takes his word seriously. Now, when the King of Swords comes into a person, sometimes they're so intellectual that they're almost like a Vulcan, where they don't really express a lot of emotions, and they can seem kind of emotionally dead. But what I feel like here in this position, it's really asking you to be neutral and to be in that space of self-control and self-command, where you can sit there and say, okay, I understand this. I understand what I know right now. You know, I understand what I understand at this moment. It doesn't mean that that's the end-all be-all. You know, this, sorry, I know it might sound confusing. So this card, it's like saying, I know what I know, but I am open to learning, even if it contradicts what I currently know. The thing about this card is this King of Swords, he's going to be open to learning new things. He's going to be studying, he's going to be learning, he's going to be reaching out for new information, but he's not going to just automatically believe everything he's told. He's going to look at it, he's going to evaluate it, and he is going to see if it really works for him and if it feels right to him. Because what fits one might not fit the next. What might work for one person might not work for the next. So that's it for these cards today. You know, seek help. That's the bottom line of it. And remember as well, you know, with all of these swords and with all of these powerful cards coming up, the ace, the queen, the king, just remember that the power is in your hands, okay? Your friends cannot heal you for you. Your therapist cannot heal you for you. I cannot heal you for you. I can do amazing things to help you out, and same with a lot of these other people. They can give you love and support, and, you know, learning how to communicate your needs is going to also be very important. Don't leave the people around you high and dry. They love you and they want to support you. Help them to help you. And if you're one of those people that you're afraid that you're always taking, find ways to give back. Find ways to give back to that person. It can be as simple as writing them a letter. It can be as simple as sending them a text, just being like, hey, I don't need anything right now. I'm just reaching out to tell you that I really love you and appreciate you, and I hope that you know that. It can be as simple as, you know, before you go to bed at night, you know, if you have their permission, send them love and warm fuzzies and authentic gratitude. You know, even if you don't have money to give back to your friends and family, even if you don't have, you know, something to barter with or something to give them like that, don't limit yourself. Be open and feel into it. What can I give this person from my heart to show them that I appreciate them and love them? And right now, this reading is asking you to do the same for yourself. So be strong, be courageous, and learn. You know, you can learn from videos online. You can learn by getting sessions. You can learn by reading books. You can learn by getting out into nature. You can learn by writing in a journal. The very, very first rule to every ancient mystery school is to know yourself. And it's so much more than just your likes or dislikes. It's about knowing how you work, why you work, you know, what traumas you have, what alters you have. You know, the thing about a lot of shadow work and about a lot of healing is that it's not saying that those things didn't exist. when you do a timeline therapy soul retrieval, or, if you go through and you do cognitive behavioral therapy, the goal isn't to make it where that trauma never happened. It's to make it where it's no longer in control of you. Where you now flip the tables from being the one that's abused and hurt to now the one that knows better, and the one who is learning how to take care of yourself and how to love yourself. So that's it for this reading here. And so now let's pick a card or 5 or however many from the Oracle card deck here. 5 hours later. Okay, I'm hearing one more thing as well. Is if you're in a position where your friends want to go and do something that you don't agree with, then, it doesn't mean that you have to get new friends. But be a friend to yourself. Be a friend to yourself. And do your best to not put you in situations that drain you and that make you feel unsafe. Okay? And if you're in situations where you don't know how to get out of it, then breathe. That is the first big step, is to breathe and feel your body. Breathe and remember that you are a magical being. And you can basically telepathically, and with your heart core star and your suma, you can command that everything in your reality work in your favor right now. And I would suggest to everyone and anyone to use this beautiful cryogenetics egg as often as you want to, as often as you can. I myself, I don't even get out of bed without having 555 of them around me. And that'll also help you when you're in those stuck situations, to help you shift and to change and to alchemize the situation. Okay? And it'll help you to activate your heart force star. Okay? Now, I picked 3 cards from the Oracle card deck here. And I'm just going to flip them all and read them one by one. And they also overlay over this first layout. So we're going to start with the centerpiece here, the one that's right smack dab on the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Swords. So here we have Explore. It is this beautiful little mousey, or at least I think it's a mouse. I really don't know exactly what it is, but it's really cute. And he's sitting here and he's exploring this branch, and from this branch there's a magnifying glass hanging from it. There's a ladybug, the leaves are changing, and he's just walking around checking things out, Exploring is not always safe, but life isn't always safe. And, as long as we're clinging to a comfort zone, there's going to be so much to life that we miss. There's going to be so much. A part of exploring is reminding yourself that you have the abilities to move and to change, and you're not stuck where you think you're stuck. No one is ever stuck. Okay, so this card of exploring is really reminding you to breathe and to step outside of your comfort zone. don't, you know, I'm not saying to intentionally go and find dangerous situations. You know, I'm not saying to go bungee jumping or, you know, go and do something that's potentially going to harm you. You know, it's not what I'm saying. I'm saying to explore life, to explore yourself, to explore your mind, explore what makes you tick. And there's going to be some hard spots, but there's going to be some amazing beauty as well. And don't take my word for it. Find it. Explore and look for it, because it is there. Now, on the left side here, we do have the card for safety. And I do want to read the cheat sheet as well for these three. But yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that here real quick. And it's all in alphabetical order. Okay. So the Explore card is to keep your eyes wide open and examine things closely. I like that. Okay, so then for the next card we have Safety. So this card is saying, search for a snug spot that makes you feel secure. Find a spot where you can connect with yourself, where you can do this deep exploring. A part of this safety that the cards are asking for some of you, it could be being with friends. For some of you, it could be sitting back watching a show you've watched 100 times. For some of you, it might be going out into nature and finding a lovely tree to sit by or to hug, you know. But it's about finding that space of safety in yourself. Okay? That's the big thing here, is finding that safety in yourself. And then the other card on the opposite side here is you have protection. Security can come from strength in numbers. That falls in line with exactly what we've been saying here with the friends and whatnot, and finding people that are also on this path to healing. Okay. True safety and true protection does not mean hiding from life. Okay. It could very well be that you will need to take a break every once in a while, that you will need to rest and find a comfortable spot to recollect yourself and to free yourself from the bonds that others have placed on you that you've willingly accepted for one reason or another. This protection and this safety is not so you can hide from reality. It's so that you can explore it. I like that, and I'm sticking with it. So that completes this reading for today. This is right before Halloween of 2023 when I recorded this. It's probably about midnight now, so I need to log off and get ready to go to sleep. But thank you everyone for participating in this reading today. I sincerely hope I sincerely hope that this all benefits you and supports you and gives you some clarity here. Okay? You're going through a lot of inner changes right now. You're being faced with a lot of your past traumas. You're being faced with a lot of heaviness that makes it hard to look to the future. But you're not alone, and you don't have to be. There is strength in numbers. Find a safe place within yourself and in the world outside of you where you can recuperate, where you can get back into neutrality, where you can clear your nervous system and really work through to work through the junk. Okay? I wish for you all of the best of the best. If you want to follow me, please do. I'll try to make more videos. You know, I'm finding ways to make this easier for me to do. But let me know what you think. Let me know what you think of today's video. And if there's anything that you would like to add to this reading, please put it in the comments below. Sending all of you great big hugs and warm fuzzies. Until next time.